They tell you I'm angry. I'm not. I'm precise. Anger shouts. Precision points. I didn't wake up one day hating the system. I noticed something far more dangerous. It works exactly as intended, not to serve, not to protect, but to preserve itself. You call it failure when reform never arrives. I call it alignment, because systems don't drift toward justice. They settle into incentives, and once you see incentives, you stop arguing morals and start reading blueprints. They taught you abuse is only real when it leaves bruises. But I said this when it was uncomfortable. Psychological abuse damages the brain. Not symbolically, not emotionally, structurally. Memory shrinks. Threat systems stay lit. Decision-making fractures. That's not trauma poetry, that's neurological battery. And the reason it isn't prosecuted is the same reason it's effective. It leaves no fingerprints on power. They told you to just heal. I told you something else. Your nervous system doesn't live in your beliefs. You can know you're safe and still react like you're cornered, because safety isn't an idea, it's a bodily permission you were never given. So when you disappear, when you ghost, when silence feels safer than clarity, that isn't weakness, that's a survival algorithm running past its expiration date. They ask why nothing ever feels finished. I said the quiet part out loud. Finished is a lie, not because you're broken, but because reality is iterative. Nothing is complete, everything is in revision. And when you see that clearly, done starts to feel fake, while improvement feels endless. That's not procrastination, that's seeing the scaffolding behind the painting. While everyone else is arguing about colors, they said power corrupts. I corrected them. Power doesn't corrupt, it concentrates. Corruption is what happens after concentration escapes accountability. So when laws expand and speech contracts and protection language wraps itself around identity, that's not safety, that's exhalation. A class building pattern between itself and consequence. They mourn the death of chivalry. I named the cause of death. It wasn't rejected, it was punished, then mocked, then remembered fondly. Once the risk had been fully transferred, men didn't disengage from intimacy because they stopped caring. They disengaged because the cost-benefit math stopped making sense. That's not bitterness, that's adaptation. They told you the Matrix was fiction. I said it was incomplete. We aren't harvested for energy, we're harvested for compliance, throughput, your attention, your labor, your silence. And the most valuable product isn't what you buy, it's the parts of yourself you stop expressing to remain tolerable. They asked why time feels wrong. I said this: time collapses when pattern density increases. The more connections you see, the less linear the world feels. That's not dissociation, that's zooming out. While others are still arguing about which frame is correct, they accused me of pessimism. I corrected them again. I don't predict collapse, I extrapolate trajectories. I don't say this will happen because I want it to, I say it because this is what happens next. When nothing changes upstream, history doesn't repeat because people are stupid. It repeats because incentives stay intact. And here's the part that makes people uncomfortable: higher consciousness doesn't make you better, it makes you harder to govern with fiction. That's why clarity is always framed as danger. That's why consent is rebranded as harm. That's why silence is rewarded. I didn't say these things to be right early. I said them because pretending not to see costs too much. So if this resonates, it's not because you agree with me, it's because you've been noticing the same cracks and wondering why no one else names them. You're not crazy, you're just ahead of the conversation. And history has never been kind to those people until it needs them. Ashen quill.